family system, your
world will never be the same again. Intellivision. Odyssey, a new dimension.
really only from Panasonic.
Graphic 16 from NEC.
4,000 games console.
Astro K, a professor exceeded. And below.
R26. Now get up to
CDI starting at $299.
Child Video Entertainment System. we go!
Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release, continuing our magical mystery tour, unveiling any games that were lost or left behind. It is June of 1982, and for our very next release, we really should have George Plimpton do the introduction. George?
Something new for Intellivision that will revolutionize the way video games are played and compared.
Ooh, tell us more.
First, here's a popular Atari game. Now don't look. And here's new Space Spartans for the Intellivoice module.
Hello, Commander.
Oh, yes.
One under attack. The battle is over.
New Intellivoice. Now that Intellivision talks, you can tell the difference with your eyes.
That's right, you can tell the difference with your eyes closed. It is time to play Space Spartans for Intellivision. Let's take a look at Space Spartans, starting with the box. As it displays very largely on the box, it talks, adds voices to your Intellivision with the Intellivoice module. It's pretty much the whole front. What is that, 1/3 of the box? And then you flip it over in the back, and you see some screenshots of the game. The new wave in Space Adventure takes you beyond sound effects, beyond the skills you've already mastered. Space Spartan sends you on a one-on-one odyssey against overwhelming alien odds in a tougher-than-ever game that talks to you. Now, of all the games we've seen up to this point in the show, we've heard arcade games talk to us first, then we had computer games talk to us next. This is the very first console video game to talk to us. Now, it is possible that the Philips Video Pack had a voice module in Europe earlier than this, but I can't confirm that. I can confirm this one, so we're going to say this is the very first console video game that will talk to you. Yes. That's true. We are in the summer, the peak of retro video games. So there's 4 different voices in here. We have the ship's computer, we have the central computer, the starbase computer, and the alien commander, all inside the cartridge. Well, along with the Intellivoice module. Let's see what we have for Space Spartans. Oh man, there we go. That's the actual scan, and then the fancy new box. So 2 different ones. I prefer the original scans. Make them dirty, make them look rough. There's the overlay we need to put over our controller on the Intellivision, and you really need it. This is another Intellivision title that goes way beyond how complicated the game can be, and I'm on both edges of the fence. I can see sometimes you just want to sit down and play something simple, Super Breakout, easy peasy. But then you also have some games you really want to get into, and this is one of those titles. A lot of the ones on the Intellivision require more preparation, need to read a manual, understand how the game works. I mean, look at this. They're using every single one of the buttons in this one, so another complicated game, but all for the better. And then we also have a few other things like the cartridge we're going to pop in on our Intellivision with an example of the screenshot. I love it, Manly. All right, let's see what the manual has for Space Spartans. How do you play this? This is yet another title that I breezed by this as a youngster, putting it in with my friend playing Intellivision, and we just went right to the next one because we had no manual and no overlays. So it was another one we put it in, tried to push buttons and figure it out. Couldn't figure it out, moved on after a few seconds. So finally, at least for myself, I can find out how to play Space Spartans. And this is only a 1-player title. Let's see what it's all about. Oh man, they actually have a story. In 480 BC, a small Spartan force held off by Xerxes and the entire Persian army in the famous Battle of Thermopylae. The Spartans chose to die defending the pass into Greece to give their allies time to prepare for attack. That's right, it's 300, right here. Space Spartans reenacts this battle in space, in a heroic adventure that pits you against overwhelming alien odds. You're the elite force, stop the first alien onslaught, and a new alien force appears. Hold the aliens back as long as you can and give your home galaxy time to prepare for attack. There it is, the Intellivoice module. They show you how to plug it into the master component, and then you get your Space Spartans to plug in after that. And we're going to see a few games that will talk to us. This is the very first. That's awesome. The object of the game is to score as many points as possible. Never heard that one before. Shooting down alien ships before your ship is damaged or you run out of energy. You can repair damaged ship systems and re-energize at 3 different star bases. Destroy all aliens in the sector grid, and a new round starts with more aliens. You have 1 ship against a continuous onslaught of alien attackers. This is another title that has the 1 person against everybody, and I always love that about video games, feeling like you were making a difference and only 1 person would be the only one that can save the world. And this does it again. Oh yes, right. We need some abs in the game. I'm keeping mine down here. Slide the Space Spartans overlay to the hand controller frame so it covers the keypad. There it is. We got the fire buttons on the side and then our disc at the bottom. And here we go. All the information is about every button. You have the battle computer, and this is allowing you to shoot torpedoes, tracking, locking on, directing towards the crosshairs. We have the impulse drive, allows you to manually pilot the ship using the disc. We have the shield. So all these are the different systems of your ship. This protects you from alien fire. Of course, the shields do. Tracking computer lets you lock onto aliens and make contact with the crosshairs. The hyperdrive lets you travel between space sectors. So if the hyperdrive does go down and you're in the middle of a battle, you have to repair it in mid-space, which takes longer. And then we have all systems. You can repair all the systems, and it takes a while for all of them to come back. We also can turn ship systems on and off with that one. We have the status of the different ship systems, and then how to repair different system. You can hit the repair button and then repair a certain system. We also have the energy levels reporting on what your ship's levels are, the number of aliens that are in and then the view goes from the grid view to the battle view. And then the disc, that Intellivision disc. Not a super big fan of it. I'd prefer the joystick. Putting my hand on a joystick feels better. That's true. This is the same time, and I don't know the exact release date of Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, but this is like right there. So this game had to have been playing off some of that too. All right, so you can move the cursor up and down with the disc. You have 16 different directions as usual. The game voices has 4 different game voices. The central computer is a male voice, gives you the ship's energy level and the number of aliens remaining in a sector. The ship's computer is a female voice, condition of ship systems, like all the different repairs you need to do. We have the starbase computer, which is a robot voice, and it gives automatic alert when your star bases are attacked. And then we have the alien commander, heard only at the end of the game, who announces the battle is over. And we got a taste of that from the commercial with George Plimpton. So here's the game speed. When we begin the game, we'll be playing on level 1 slow. So keep that in mind. This game does play faster, and we're talking about in the space combat scenes, the first-person perspective ones. But you have 5 different levels. And you push that on the controller to pick the speed you want to play. And it even gives you details of what the speeds are and what happens. And when it's time to play, the sector grid appears after the game speed selected. There it is. The first screen you see is the overhead grid view of the entire map. Almost reminiscent of the Star Trek variants we're playing, but this one's a little different. I'd say a little more slimmed down compared to what we see on the computer, but still a magnificent feat for a home console. Alien star bases and fleets are colored like this with that picture. And then depending on the color, it shows you how many aliens are going to be in that sector. Oh man, yeah, if you go for purple, it's going to be very, very difficult. You have 33 or more alien ships in one small area you have to blow up. Yeah, maximum of 16 per fleet, or a total of 96, which you'd have on the entire grid for aliens you need to kill. So you have 3 star bases. The cursor automatically appears in the center after you select the game speed, and then you place your star bases in any sector. So the game begins you putting down your star bases. It shows you here how to place all the star bases. You can just push any key to lock in the place. And this is part of the strategic side of it. Where is the star base is going to go to hopefully not get attacked by the aliens? Every time you play, it's random where they give you the aliens. And then Starbase functions allows you to repair your damaged ship systems and restore your ship's energy. If you can warp there, if you lose your hyperdrive, then you got to repair that in mid-space, and it takes a little bit longer. All right, so it tries to explain in brief, and I say in brief, this is halfway through the manual. We haven't even got through halfway of the manual, and they're going to try to explain it in brief. First, you place your star bases. Next, you move your ship to alien-occupied sector by pressing the hyperdrive and then and enter to warp or to the next place. Then you switch to the battle view by pushing, again, the button on your controller. After the ship symbol appears in the sector, you press the change view key, and now you get into the space battle mode. You move the cursor around and destroy all the ships. Yes, that's true. The entire thing is still a sluggish affair. If you've ever played it, I'll get into it whenever we go to the first-person mode. It's not super smooth. You can zero in on the alien ship, which is blue. Press the disc to move the ship in the crosshairs. Hold the disc to accelerate. Opposite side of the disc to decelerate. And the tracking computer will be on to pursue any alien that comes in contact with you. So if you have a lot of systems available, it makes it easier to fight. And then you have the fire button. Just push the sides of your controller to fire, avoid the enemy fire, and if you do, you get damaged. If you have damaged systems, you have to repair them. Once the repairs are all done, you can also check for the number of aliens that are left in this sector, or check the status of your ship's systems. If there is an alien starbase that is attacking, or aliens are attacking your starbase, they're going to tell you. They're going to talk to you and tell you. You have to go to that sector and defend your starbase. Monitor your energy use, and then into the round, when all the aliens in sector grid are destroyed, a new alien force appears with 2 offensive fleets per alien starbase, and the third round has 3 offensive fleets per alien starbase. And then they have specifics here on the battle view. Very, very helpful. Love the manuals at the time. For someone who grew up with most of these manuals gone or lost, this is awesome. It shows you what alien fire looks like. A lot of the ships look very reminiscent of TIE bombers from Star Wars, and who wouldn't blame them? We've seen copies and copies of Star Wars and Star Trek at this point that I don't think we're ever going to get to an official Star Trek or official Star Wars. We also have impulse drive to move your ship with the disc. If you don't have it, or it goes down, it's not going to move forward. And it's hard to zero on an alien ship when moving at high speed, so slow it down a little bit. Then you can use the hyperdrive to get out of that sector. It shows you how to fire, moving into different sectors as well. And then after the battle, you can change the view to go back to the sector grid, use the disc to move that cursor around, go to a different place, use your hyperdrive, and then warp off again, destroying more aliens. Here's some details on the aliens. They have an alien star bases build new ships, and so the longer you play the game, you're gonna, if you don't do anything and just sit there, they'll just send out alien ships, and the whole grid will be full of aliens. Every 6 seconds, at least on the fastest game speed, to 14 seconds, each starbase builds a new ship. The chances of a starbase building a new ship increase with each round played, because you just keep blowing up more and more ships until it gets to the point where it's overwhelming and you can't do anything. And it explains how the alien fleets move around. They're going to be going for your star bases, and you have to defend them if they start attacking them. If they're under attack, you have to warp over there and defend that star base. You can also have the recovery of the star base. For every 50,000 points you earn, you get 50 additional shield rating units, and those can be distributed among the star bases. That's right, there is some growth in the game. You actually get, after you points, the points are used for something, which is incredible. That is a phenomenal feat for any video game. Usually whenever you see points, and points are going to give you lives, that's true. We've seen it with arcade games, but here you're going to use points to increase the rating, or shields of your starbase. So cool. Here's the energy level. Your ship begins with 10,000 energy units. The rate of fire, or the rate of energy use or gain depends on game speed. And so we're going to be going on level 1 when we play. But if you want to give it a shot to play the other levels, go for it. It's pretty cool. We also have the hyperdrive, impulse drive, shields, and fire. It shows how much energy it uses to do all this. So I spent, whenever I was doing the test for the show, going around warping everywhere, and then I didn't have any energy left over. You had to sit there and repair. You can repair in space, which is manual. It takes about 5 units a second during repair, and that's real time. Starbase repairs use no energy. The central computer reports on your energy level when it drops below 1,000, and it reports again when the level reaches 500, 400, and then it just starts counting down like the end times. To regain energy, you have to return to one of your star bases or remain on the sector grid. You won't gain energy while in battle view, and then complete or turn off repairs. The rate of energy gain depends on game speed, starbase shield rating, and so forth. And then if you have damage to your ship, you have to repair those parts. The best way is just go back to a starbase and do repairs of everything, and then just wait for them to repair. But if you're stuck in mid-space, it's going to take a little bit longer. There it is, how to repair the ship. And all this would be controlled from the Intellivision controller. You have to know what buttons to push. It is an intense affair. Then we have space versus starbase repair, what it's like to do it manually, time-wise, and then what it's like to be if you're at a starbase. It shows you the advantages and disadvantages, then progress report. A round ends when you destroy all alien fleets and starbases on the sector grid. You see the sector grid with 3 new alien starbases plus 3 offensive fleets times the round number. And then at the start of the new round, you may reposition your remaining starbases, use the disc, move around, and then keep going. And it's just wave after wave after wave until you amass the most points. It shows you the number of points you get for everything. You got to know that in 1982. That's round 1, 20 points a ship, 40 points, and then 60, and so on. And it just keeps going up and up and up. How far did you get on Space Spartans? Then we have the points lost whenever things happen, like you're subtracted from each round if you're doing something incorrect. Aliens left, 20 points times the round number times the number of aliens left. They're really going into detail about points. You had to know what the points were. And the game's over when you run out of energy completely or your ship is destroyed. Your ship can be destroyed if all ship systems are destroyed or if your hyperdrive blows the ship up. There's a 50% chance of this occurring if you use the hyperdrive when it's destroyed. So you have to listen to the computer. If the computer says your hyperdrive is destroyed, don't use it. You flip the coin and maybe the ship will blow up. At the end of the game, you return to the sector grid. Aliens continue to move forward, and after the game over screen, the alien commander announces the battle is over. Much better than I could. So there's the very lengthy but very informative manual. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, this is a video game that's going to introduce itself.
Mattel Electronics presents Space Spartans.
There it is. I didn't have to say anything. Hopefully we get more games like that. It'll be a lot easier. All right, so first thing you do is pick the speed. We're going to go speed 1 for slow, and then we start off on the grid view. I'm going to set my star bases down based on where I see danger, and right now I'm looking at the orange, so I'm going to go put one way up here in the corner. And all you have to do is push any key on your, or any number on the keypad, and it puts your star base down. We get 3 different ones, so let's put another one down here in this sector, and then we'll put our third one over here. That should be pretty safe.
Hello, Commander. Computer reporting.
And that just sounds like Star Trek. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to go to where it's orange, so I'm going to move my cursor here, and I'm going to pull up the hyperdrive or warp, and I'm going to do 5 for warp, and then on and on and off. And then it sends your ship to the orange sector. Now that I'm there, I got to change the view and start blowing up some aliens. So here we go. We are in. You go to the sector and you need to destroy them all. The controls feel a little bit floaty considering the other games we played from this space combat view. But to tell you the truth, home consoles haven't really done as much. We still haven't seen the VCS version of Star Raiders. So this is still pretty fantastic for a game to play. There's one other one we played that was like a Star Trek variant that you could play on the VCS. That was okay, but it didn't have this much action. Oh, see, I need to listen to the computer. They're telling me what gets shot down. Let's see if we can get in here. But the cursor moves around very slowly while we are on the slow speed, but it does feel very floaty too. There we go. And all you're doing is you're using the disc to move forward and back to go speed, and then left and right to move the cursor. So while it appears like you have full range to move around, you really don't.
2/3 down.
Starbase 3 under attack.
And see, now, even while we're doing this battle, our starbase is under attack, so aliens must have gone to that sector, or that quadrant, and taken it out. They're live fighters. I love it. Uh-oh. See, now we got navigation system, or something went down because now I don't have as much controls. So if I want to, I can change the view, go back to this one, and then I want to go to our starbase that's under attack. I hope, she didn't say hyperdrive's down. We're going to go hyperdrive and go. Hopefully we don't blow up. We made it! Okay, good. So we go here. Starbase is under attack. We're going to try to defend it with what we can, but you notice I'm drifting to the left because one of my systems went down. And we have another starbase under attack. I'm having to pull really hard because we have so many systems that are down right now. Yeah, the talking video game is incredible. To have it tell you, have the robot give you information about like red alert or what starbase is under attack, and then have another computer voice that sounds really close to what you'd hear on Star Trek of a female voice telling you about which systems are damaged. It's awesome. Oh yeah, we need to go repair. So I'm gonna actually have to leave. We're gonna go change view, go back to the main grid. Let's go to one of our star bases that does work and start some repairs. So I'm gonna go hyperdrive here, which means we're leaving a star base unprotected, and then we're gonna go ahead and do repair all systems.
Repair on. Tracking computer 1/3 down.
And now it's doing the repair for all systems. Now that I'm at a star base, it'll do it a lot faster.
Repaired. Impulse drive 2/3 down. Under repair. Impulse drive repaired. Battle computer repaired.
Oh, that's true. This speech chip is very impressive. Considering we played everything on the home computer too. The Votrex voice synthesizer comes to mind. Okay, so I think we got everything repaired. Let's go to the red zone where it's crazy. So we're going to move our ship. Cursor needs to go all the way to this starbase. I don't think we're going to make it, but we'll try anyway. So hyperdrive is on and engage. All systems have been restored. Let's change the view and start helping. Yes, so now I got better movement because of what I did for the repairs.
Computer 1/3 down. Under repair.
And I just have another computer that... Let me slow down a little bit on the turns. So you see, you are drifting a little bit with the cursor, and you have to be really careful of which systems or which ships you bring in your crosshairs, because if they start shooting things down, then you're not going to do very well in the fight. No, Go, 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 go. Missed him. And what you have for controls is, it's not really like you're using the disc to direct the cursor freely. It's just moving the disc forward to speed up, move it back to slow down, and then you're just doing left and right. There. I think we got it. Change the view. Oh, it's still orange, so we still have some enemies here. And you can always have the computer tell you how many are left. Oh yeah, that's great.
Computer destroyed. Hyperdrive 1/3 down. Under
Oh no,
repair.
and now the hyperdrive's down. So this means we have to repair the hyperdrive not in orbit, in the middle of space, which takes a while.
2/3 down. Under repair.
Starbase 3 under attack.
But man, the voice, it does make this a lot more intense. Thinking that you are involved in a space battle. Oh gosh.
Under repair. Battle computer destroyed.
Starbase 3 under attack.
Hyperdrive destroyed. Under repair.
Oh yeah, this is very much like we are Sparta.
Starbase 3 under
There
attack.
is little hope. We must just fight on. Looking good.
Starbase 3 under attack.
They're a little generous with where the crosshair is, so it doesn't have to be a perfect shot every time. Oh, I thought they'd give me that one, but I guess not. Probably because I was talking about it. It does kind of like that, sound like that, right?
Starbase 2 under attack.
We're still in the age of the imagination, because obviously these craft don't look exactly like TIE fighters, but they look close enough. So the same thing with the voices. You'd hear the voice and think, oh, it sounds just like Red Leader. It's great.
Starbase 2 under attack.
All right, so that is Space Spartans. Of all the games you could play on a home console, I'd actually say for the gameplay, I'd give it a little bit less than Sub Hunt gameplay-wise, because it's a continuous process, but it does execute very well with what it's simplified from the Star Trek variant. The only thing, though, is because I'd give it 3.5 stars around that range, it's the voice. The voices, I'm going to bump this up. So this is a 4-star title of all the games you can play so far on a home console. It is an excellent game. I wouldn't call it one of the best games you can play on a home console because the gameplay is... we've seen better games you can play gameplay-wise. Oh yeah, Errol's going 3.5. So I go 3.5, but I'm saying the voice, I'm going to kick it up just because it's the first voice and it does the voice very well and enhances the gameplay. All right, so that is Space Spartans. Let's see where we're going now. It's time to go to England to play the ZX Spectrum, and this is 3D Maze of Gold. Let's take a look at the box or the cassette case for 3D Maze of Gold. Yeah, I'm with Sub Hunt. Sub Hunt was much better with the gameplay, definitely. This one is another title that I think of that shows you what computer games were like at the time, or advertising. Just draw on your own cartridge, get some crayons or markers out, and then get it out there. That's right, Gilsoft. Let's see the other artwork we have for 3D Maze of Gold. This is the other one that would have been released later for the ZX Spectrum. The one that we saw was the first one, and there was also another... Oh, here we go, the instructions on the inside. The traveling fair is in town. Its star attraction is a maze crammed with gold. You win as much as you can and find and escape, but don't hang about or the gold may well be worthless. If and when you find the exit, the program uses machine code to provide full-color perspective views of a large labyrinth as you search for the gold. And there's some load instructions at the bottom. We also have the cassette tape you would play at the time. Again, looks like it's made at home. I love it. And we also have one of the first times that it would have been released. I don't know which one would be the official one, but here's another one by Gilsoft Computer Software, with an example of the screenshot. We have lots of different versions, as you can see from the boxes. We're going to play the first one, or the best one that will play for us. This is 3D Maze of Gold by Tim Gilberts at some point in June of 1982. We have now entered the world of... We don't know exactly when in June these games were released. We're going to start playing all the games that were released at some time in June, starting with this, 3D Maze of Gold. Stop the tape. Press any key for information. Yes, we do need information. Enter the labyrinth, then collect as many gold bars as possible, but hurry to the exit before they become worthless. The current value is shown on the right, along with the number of moves made. Also shown are odd-numbered levels in a north-pointing compass. If you push 1, On levels 4 to 9, you'll be given a layout plan showing the relative positions to you, the gold bars, and the exit. Oh, that's nice. Within the game, the exit can be seen up to 4 moves away as a red wall with a flashing black stripe. You pick up a gold bar when you pass over it, and the controls are just moving left, right, and forward. And just bear in mind, we are playing on the lovely chiclet ZX Spectrum keyboard. Oh, we can use a Kempston-type joystick. I think this is one of the first games on the ZX Spectrum that we get to plug a joystick in. So we'll plug in our Kempston to play. How difficult of game do you want to play? Oh, I love it. Impossible. We're not going to play Impossible. We have Grandmasters only, exceptional, and then talented, very good. We're going to go with, I love it, Village Idiots only. So we're playing on the Village Idiots only level, which, again, I've tested this before the show. I couldn't find the exit on Village Idiots only. Okay, so we're in. Let's get a view of the edges here. Okay, they didn't back us up in a corner. And I don't think, if I push 1... Oh, it does. Okay, cool. So it shows the maze from the top down. Look, this is Village Idiots only. Look how many gold bars we have. Oh my gosh. All right, so that was 1 to see what it would look like from the top. This is yet another subgenre of video games of the first-person perspective maze game. This is all the rage. This is the super cool newest thing from 1982. We've seen this in, it was in mainframe computers, they started to do this, and so far the best one I've seen has been the 3D monster maze. That one was great, because you have like a live monster chasing you. This one is nice because it has the gold bar pickup, which is almost an homage to Pac-Man, but you're still moving around the maze in a first-person view, and they're calculating the number of moves you have, where you need to go next. But I still find these are very charming, very fun. And this one, you can tell with the machine code, programmed really well and fast. Yes, but where's the gold? We've been moving around the maze and haven't found any gold yet. Oh, there we go. Got some. Nice. I'm going to wander a little bit because all this is finding the exit. Granted, we've seen other 3D maze games where it's just a maze and you move through it and that's it. So the gold bars is a nice touch. I'd still say of all the games you could play up to this point on a home computer, this is a perfectly average title. 3 stars for 3D Maze of Gold. Yeah, it responds quick and plays well. We've seen actually better, I think the NASCOM performed better than this one as far as speed to get you through the maze. But we're, again, I tested this before the show. We're playing on the Village Idiot level, and we still haven't got to the exit. Or seen the exit. That's the north over there behind us now. And it's now to the left. Oh, I see why. They're saying we're level 9. I pushed 0 for the village. Oh, that's right. The level 0 was the most difficult. That was the impossible level. So level 9 would have been the dumb one. Yeah. So there you go. 133 moves of 3D Maze of Gold. I still hold that of all the computer games you can play, it's perfectly average. It's kind of cool seeing this other niche genre spring up in 1982 on micros and home computers of the 3D or the first-person perspective game. Nice. All right, so after 3D Maze of Gold, let's see what's our next game. All right, we're in the world of At Some Time in June 1982, and this is Bedlam for the TRS-80 color computer. So Bedlam is another one we've already seen on the TRS-80, and here it is in color. Let's take a look at the box for Bedlam. A different box than the TRS-80. Nice. Oh, that's so cool. So if you didn't check out the TRS-80 episode of Bedlam, this one's a great concept. It's a text adventure game where you are in an insane asylum and need to escape. And so you meet people that apparently are famous people, like you can see Napoleon there. I think that's all we got. But there's also Leonardo da Vinci. They're not the real people. They think they are because they're crazy. You only need 16K to play this one. But nice box. Very beautiful. Let's take a look at the other arc we have for Bedlam. And we also have the ad you would have seen in magazines at the time. You're in and you want to get out, but the whole place is crazy. Can you trust Napoleon or the guy who calls himself X-Ray? What about the one who looks like a doctor but is restrained like a patient? And it keeps on being crazy because the way out changes every time through Bedlam. And this magazine ad, it was $15. You can see available summer of 1982. There's the cassette we'll be popping in to play Bedlam. And there it is in color. It's pretty much the exact same game. I don't know about the intricacies of if it's different, but this time on the Coco, we have the manual. Yes, that's right. Man, look at that. The other fun part of the game is, are you in the insane asylum because you're crazy? Or are you getting out because you're not crazy? Or maybe you'll go crazy playing the game. So we flip through all the legal mumbo jumbo. Bedlam is another new adventure from Radio Shack. There's no hidden treasures to find, no wealth to amass, no score to beat. That's right. This is a title that doesn't have a score. You're just supposed to get to the end. And the reason they say that is we're still seeing people playing Colossal Cave variants or adventure variants where you go find treasures and come back and get points, but not here. Your computer and the instructions you give are the keys to your escape. Bedlam recognizes commands like go west or get the key, and you can even shorten them. This has a pretty good text parser considering the other adventure games we've seen so far. You can even erase anything you type by pressing the clear key or the arrow keys. Oh, it's so great. To help you escape, you try enlisting the aid of some people you meet. Their ability to help also changes each time you play the game. Depending on the active escape route, you'll either be able to escape without help from anyone, or you'll need help from one or more people you meet. The people can help you in one game may be ineffective in another game. That's right. Every time you play this game, it is random. It's a different experience every time. And I believe there's 3 possible endings for this one. If you get lost during the game, you can type look or press enter to see where you are. You can also see inventory as usual with most games. Good luck. I really hope you make it. You may even be lucky the first couple of times and get out easily. Who knows? You may not be quite so lucky the next time you try. And there's our system requirements. You need 16K or 32K for the Coco. So we have 32K. And how do we load the program up? Got it. And then we have the questionnaire. Oh, this is fun. They put a questionnaire of not an official psychological test. That's awesome. To get you into the game. So cool. Yeah, and determine your score, taking the psychiatric profile questionnaire. Love it. Yeah, text adventure games. I was only into graphic adventure games and didn't get into any text adventure games till much later in life. But here on the channel, we're starting from the beginning, so we've seen lots of text adventure games, and it's not over yet. I like how they keep evolving and changing, giving little nuance, and over time, giving something that we haven't seen before. It's pretty cool. Yes, all 3 releases at the same. Yeah. I don't think there's a difference between whether it's TRS-80 or the Coco. Look at this. This is so cool. So I'm not going to answer any of the questions. We're not going through a psychiatric profile, but very nice that they included it. All right, let's pop in Bedlam at sometime in June 1982 by Robert Arnstein on the Coco. And this one is machine language. Let's load her up. Most of these text adventure games are ones that you have to be in the moment and realize that you don't want to have graphics. You want to experience a game that's different than any other action titles, because these are able to deliver an experience with puzzles and something that you don't have with other video games. You feel as though you've just awakened from a very long bad dream about doctors and padded rooms. Your thoughts are, where am I? Now, we played this on the TRS-80, which was basically the same thing. I mean, we're on the Coco, the color computer, but it's just basking in the green glow. We don't really get anything else after that. Where am I? Let's type something else. You're in a small square room. All 4 walls are covered with a thick padding. On the south wall, there is a green door which is closed. Well, let's open that door. The green door is now open, so let's go down south. This is the east-west hallway. On the north wall, there is a green door. On the south wall, there is a red door which is closed. And this is another game you'd have to be making your own map. I cannot give a good walkthrough for this game because this is always going to be random. So every time you play and you start in that cell, when you leave, I played one time where someone was already in the hallway wandering around. I played one time where a doctor tried to get me, and every room changes. So there's lots of things that are random in the game, which really add to the appeal of this text adventure game over others. All right, so let's try opening the red door, which, by the way, doing 3 words for the text parser is pretty cool. It recognized it. Usually you have to say open door, and then it says which door, and then you type red after that. All right, so red door is locked. So we don't want to go to the... we need the key for that one, and I don't know if that will lead us out or not. Sometimes you play, and the way out is quick and easy. Sometimes you play, it takes a while to leave. All right, so we have an east-west hallway. Let's go ahead and go east this time. You're in the east-west hallway still. On the north wall, there is a green door, which is closed. On the south wall, there's a red door. So you can see it's a hallway of red and green doors, basically. Let's keep going east to the end. This is the end of the east-west hallway. There's an opening to the east. On the north wall, there is a green door, which is closed. Let's go in the opening. You're in the electroshock therapy room. There's a single exit west. There's a green key here. There's a very large woman dressed in a uniform here. She looks like the roller derby queen. She has a jagged scar just below her hairline. She turns toward you and says, "Oh, you must be here for treatment. Just come right over here." She gestures towards something which looks like an electric chair or electric couch. So I don't think we can try to get the key. Let's try, because we might die. The green key taken. "You're not cooperating," says the nurse as she lunges across the room. "It's Nurse Ratchet!" And she tackles you. She drags you to the couch and straps you in. She pulls an ominous lever and you experience the ultimate agony. Mercifully, you pass out. You awaken in your cell. So we're back where we were before in the same cell. Okay, so we got electroshock therapy and then we're back in the cell. So doors closed again. Let's open the door. Did they get the memo? Green doors open. All right, good. Let's go down south. Now we're back in the east-west hallway. Do we have the green key, though? Let's see. Oh, maybe the INV doesn't work. We have to type inventory all the way out. Inventory. Oh, no, we don't have the key. So Nurse Ratchet took the key from us. Oh, yeah, this time, let's go west instead of east. We're still in the west end of the very long east-west hallway. There's an opening to the west. On the north wall, there's a green door, which is closed. On the south wall, there's the red door. So as you move down the hallway, it's basically green door, red door. Keep going. Yeah, I didn't have the key. I guess the nurse took the key from me. All right, so now the red door, which is closed, a short, stocky, unshaven man wearing a bloody white surgical gown and holding a large hypodermic is staring at you. The doctor says, "You are not being a good little patient. Now return to your cell or you will need a lobotomy." Oh, so it's not looking good. I think we can't continue west. This is a dispensary, a small square room that exits to the east, west, and south. There's a blue pill here. Take the blue pill. On one wall is a cabinet. The cabinet has a tiny hole in it. Get pill. Blue pill is taken. Eat pill. Yes, we took the blue pill. Yeah, I love the story and the aesthetic of this game. It's so much fun. Okay, so I think we're at the very end of the west, right? Yeah, we're in the maintenance room, a large room with exits east and west. There's a long handle window hook here. Open window. Get out the window. Oh, with what? Oh, we have nothing. Okay, so there's a window hook, but we need something else to open the window. All right, looks like it doesn't work. I like the quality of life with the text parser, too. Maybe we should have taken the pill later, right? All right, so let's go back east, back in the dispensary, and you can see the doctor's there. Oh, no, he's back. The cabinet has a tiny hole, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're back with the unshaven man wearing a bloody white surgical gown, holding the heart hypodermic, and he says, "I'm afraid I'm going to have to give you a frontal lobotomy." He sticks you with his hypo, and you pass out. When you awaken, you feel somewhat indifferent to your surroundings. You notice blood on your gown, but it doesn't seem to bother you. You feel like wandering. And that's the other thing, too. This game plays with a few things. In a way, this is one of the first games that has a psychological messing around with you kind of game, which is great because we've already had two things happen. A nurse did something to us, and now the doctor's done something to us. And now whenever you play, a few things change about the game and how you move around. So, that's right. You get the hook and go in the cabinet. That's true. All right, there you go. That's a quick taste of Bedlam. Of all the games you could play up to this point, I'm with the same rating we gave on the TRS-80. All genres are no genre is safe here. Every genre is all right. So of all the games you can play on a home computer, I'm going 4 stars for Bedlam. Just like we played on the TRS-80, it is an excellent text adventure game, an excellent video game to play at this point in 1982. All right, so after Bedlam, let's see where we're going now. It's time to go back to England on the ZX81, and this is Breakout. That's right, Breakout. Finally, a game we know what we're talking about. Let's see what the box is like for Breakout. This is the example of the CDS Microsystems box. You can see we just need 16K for that one, and it really is more of the cassette case rather than a box. Let's see what the other artwork we have for Breakout. This one is, on the inside sleeve, the fast-moving arcade game for your ZX81. Yes, we know what Breakout is. This is also released as Breakout by the JK Software Company, which by JK Gray. And then we also have another one by New Generation Software that was just called Breakout. And I think that they were all taken from similar examples. These other two Breakouts on the ZX81 have more ASCII characters involved. The one we're playing is pretty impressive. I'm playing one of the best Breakouts you could play for the ZX81. All right, let's pop in Breakout at sometime in June 1982 by CBS Microsystems. The other ones that we saw, at least the front of the boxes, were in 1982, but I wanted to show this one because of all the breakouts. This one is the best one. It plays well. So you use keys 5 and 8 to move left and right, and then we have initial speed. You can do 1 to 999. To show you how smooth this is, we're going to do 999. Coming from a home computer, which, by the way, would have interrupts that would clear the screen after every time you type, this is a marvel. Here we go, 999 speed. Number of balls we want to do 9, which is not a number of lives, and then you can do progressive, which brings the blocks down, or normal. Let's do normal play. All right, here we go. Watch this. Look at this. If you are a fan of the ZX81, your jaw should be dropping. If you had been playing only on the ZX81 in Europe and this is all you had, you would be blown away. This would be the best way to play Breakout on your ZX81. Amazing how smooth this is. And the other one that we have played used only ASCII characters. So we were moving across the screen like hyphens. We were bouncing a ball. That was the @ symbol. And so this one actually looks like you're playing more of an arcade title or actually Breakout. Let's see if we can get it up there. And it has pretty good English. I'm playing on the fastest speed, which is the hardest to play on, but it just shows you how smooth this runs. It also is not being controlled by a paddle controller. There we go. We got a little bit up top. But you didn't have it. There was no joystick. There was no paddle controller. This is it. You use the membrane keyboard, which is basically a smooth, it's almost like a smooth surface, like you're touching a desk to push the numbers back and forth. But yeah, that is it. That's great. Of all the games you could play on a home computer, I'm still going to give this one 3 stars of all the games we could ever play. It's a perfectly average title, considering every other home computer out there. We're pretty spoiled here. But as far as the ZX81, this is a marvel. That's amazing. That's true. And yeah, it's Breakout, all right. All right, so after gushing over what the ZX81 could do, let's see where we're going now. We're back on the ZX Spectrum. This is Car Chase. Bear in mind, ZX Spectrum is a brand new computer. It was first available in April, and whenever you ordered this, which was mail order, you had to wait until this system came in. And a lot of times people didn't get it within months later. So if you're lucky enough to play Car Chase, this is what you would have got. This one is another one, no box or information, just a few screenshots. So let's pop in and play some Car Chase. This is by Clive Brooker, published by Simon Microsoft at sometime in June 1982. Let's go. Stop the tape. The object of the game is to complete as many laps as possible without crashing into the computer car. 10 bonus laps and a further car will be awarded if you wipe out all the track markers. You have 4 cars, which are controlled by A, S, W, and Z. So look down at your keyboard now. And remember, you're playing this on one of those chiclet keyboards of the ZX Spectrum. Scary. You can change lanes at any junction, operating the cursor controls. Got it. And the game, you drive a black car which travels in a clockwise direction. If you would like to repeat the instructions, no, we don't. We're ready to play. And let's go. And start. This is a head-on variant, or dodge 'em, if you like dodge 'em. Another title that I think of people that played on the ZX81 were like, quick, put some sound in there. It has sound. We need to play the sound. But yeah, this is the slowest, crappiest version of head-on of all the head-on variants we played. And we played type-in head-on games. We played head-on variants for all different types of home computers. But I mean, look at this. First of all, you're controlling the car using the spongy keys of the ZX Spectrum, but I wouldn't fault it for that. I'd fault it for how slowly it moves and how it barely responds or sometimes hardly responds. Yikes. Of all the games you can play on a home computer, Car Chase is way down there. It is in the bad range. Is it broken? I wouldn't consider it broken. This is our broken range of home computers. No, it's not broken. It functions as well as it should, but we played other games that are better. This, I'm going to give 1.5 stars for Car Chase of all the games. Oh, Errol's with me. 1.5. Yeah, it's bad. That's pretty bad. All right, with that, let's press forward and see what is next. All right, next game is still on the ZX Spectrum. This is Chess. Yes, just chess, but a very special one. Let's take a look at the box for Chess on the ZX Spectrum. This is by Cyan Software and Microgen. And you need 48K for this, so you had to shell out the larger RAM variant of the Spectrum. Let's see what other art we have for chess. If you open up the inside sleeve, it gives you more information about what it is, what it's inspired by, and then you can see other games by Scion over here on the right side. It tells you how to set up the board because this gives you options that other chess games do not. There's the cassette you would be popping in to play some chess on the ZX Spectrum with an example of the cassette. Oh yes, this will be, definitely. All right, let's pop in some chess. At sometime in June 1982 by Microgen and Scion Software, published by Sinclair Research. Let's go. Now, we played a lot of chess. We haven't really played a full game of chess, but we have an idea of what other chess games are like at the time. Let's go. We are in. Now, this one is also called Master Chess, and this allows you to play the game. You can set up the color, or you can set up the game itself. So just to give you a heads up, if we wanted to switch the colors out, you can change all the colors of the board. If this is too garish for you, make it different. It also has ways you can set up to play the game. So the options of this is one of the reasons why this is an excellent game of chess. The second reason is, watch what happens when we play. Let's go white so we can go first, and then select the skill level. I'm going to go 0 because this is also one of the most impressive artificial intelligence of chess, and it's on the ZX Spectrum. The other really good one at the time right now is Sargon Chess. This is up there with Sargon, as if you want to play a really good game. All right, so now we just decide what do we want to do. So let's move a pawn, and it's looking for the letter first, or the column, and then the row. So you do column and then row, and you can also delete and make changes to it. So if we wanted to move, for example, our pawn, we'd go C2 to C4, and there you go, moves C2 to C4. Look how fast the computer goes. That's the other part too. So let's move C4 to D5 and take them out, and it makes the move, and boom. No way, they brought their queen out already? You idiot. We were playing on the dumb difficulty, but that's the speed. That's the big reason why this is one of the best chess video games you could play at the time. Yeah, and the quick speed. Now, bear in mind, I'm playing on the lower difficulty. If you do go higher, it does take a little bit longer, but we played other chess variants where we started on lower levels, and it still took seconds, maybe even 10, 15 seconds, and it's just more cumbersome. But this one is a great game of chess. You see the stats at the top of all the games you could play on any system, whether you're a fan of chess or not. This is excellent. This is a 4-star game of all the computer games you could play for the time. Chess on the ZX Spectrum. Check it out. Play some chess. This is also one that many people in England were playing if they wanted to have chess, because the ZX Spectrum was the home computer for the masses. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see our next game. It's not a game at all. Our next is the latest issue of Electronic Games. This is issue number 4. I love this magazine. Really excited to get into it with you. Let's see what's happening in the world of electronic games. So I'm going to show you a different way that we can now take a look at the magazine together. This Electronic Games magazine is essentially what I am doing back then. They're showcasing everything. Video games, computer games, standalone, arcade games, it's all right here. They consider video games console games. I'm wanting to know exactly when people, as the masses, refer to them as console, because we've already seen a few magazines say they're a console video game, but here they just call them video games. So you can see, look at this artwork we have in the front. This is a nice spread where they're going to talk about adventure games that are happening. Let's open it up and see what's going on. Our first ad is by Atari, showing off all the titles, and even a little prideful, like, hey, we got the most games, we're going to have the most games, we have the best games. And there's even saying, yeah, this is the Have You Played Atari Today commercial. I love the one that says, you can't beat us at our own game. That's the prideful one. All right, let's flip on to the table of contents, which we're not going to be highlighting too much of the table of contents because we're going to be going through most of this magazine. This is great as far as content for getting as much information from arcade, handhelds, computer games. It's all here. Over on the right side, we have an ad for Lockjaw, another one we've already seen on the channel. It's pretty good for the time. This is by Apollo, another third-party software that's not Activision. And the other games down here, Lost Luggage we've seen, Space Chase, yeah, all these, Skeet Shoot. I'm not sure about Space Caverns, if we've seen that one yet or not. But yeah, Lockjaw's all right for the time. Let's flip on to our next one, which is the editor, Arnie Katz, talking more about pirates and copycats. And we've seen this really the most here on the channel, playing every single video game. We've seen a really popular arcade game come out, and then the computer's world takes over and makes tons of variants or copies of it. Yes, I like the Activision one better myself, yeah. And Activision made the better game, and yeah, they got corporate. And I'm so glad we're in 1982 when they're not corporate, when we can enjoy and love this time. Even when the crash happens, I'm excited to get to the crash of the video game consoles. All right, so pretty cool about pirating, what it is that we've seen firsthand here on Chronologically Gaming. How many variants of a game can you make, and if it really counts, if it's the same game or pretty close to the same game. Over here, we have an ad for the Coleco handhelds. We've already seen Pac-Man, and I said in the last issue, I can't believe there was Galaxian. I never even heard about or knew about Galaxian. So here we go, let's flip on. Now, I love this, the Electronic Games Hotline. First, we have the Atari Report. Gamers had so much fun tracking down the secret message in the Atari VCS game Adventure. So they told us in one of the other issues of Electronic Games about the Easter egg by Warren Robinette, and there it is. We also have, within Missile Command, Atari promises virtually every cartridge lineup will feature similar Easter egg messages. So even though they were mad at Warren Robinette or upset that he did that, now they're going to tell everyone there's going to be more Easter egg messages in other Atari games. See, Greg Christensen, an 18-year-old student from Anaheim, California, was selected as one of the first winners of the Atari Star Awards. His entry, Caverns of Mars, is a graphically impressive game and now available through the Atari Program Exchange. And Caverns of Mars is great. Those are great. Fernando Herrera, signer of Space Chase, Time Bomb, Swifty Software, also a winner. His design for My First Alphabet, which is an educational title that we didn't play. And then we have Atari Corn-Up just linked a deal with Namco to get us Pac-Man, Galaxian, and Galaga. Namco's next major release is yet untitled, will be licensed in the US by Atari. Wait, their next major release, we've already seen it then, in Japan. It's got to be, what would Namco's next major release be? I'm trying to think, Blueprint maybe? No, Blueprint wasn't Namco. The next big one, yeah, they have Galaxian and Galaga. So yeah, Galaga was I'm trying to think of what it would be. And then over here in the bottom is Tron. The arcade excitement is going to be coming. Or they're talking about the arcade game. Now, we showed this off in March because the arcade was available before the movie came out. And so people were playing the arcade game before the movie came out, almost like really good marketing. But this is one of the first times it said licensed game. Tron is the beginning of the licensed titles. This section is awesome. It's the first time we've ever seen ColecoVision. Coleco debuts the new senior video game console, dubbed ColecoVision. The major technological breakthrough owing mainly to vastly increased screen RAM facilitates more movement of graphic elements in the game playfield. ColecoVision's screen RAM is approximately 10 times Intellivision's and allows as many as 48 objects to be simultaneously manipulated on screen. I don't think that's necessarily true compared to what I know about ColecoVision. And then we also have, this is great, it shows the Atari adapter. According to a company spokesman, the introduction of ColecoVision will not in any way affect the previously announced line of software Coleco will produce for the VCS and Intellivision, because they're already telling you now, before the ColecoVision comes out, that there's going to be an adapter where you can play Atari VCS games on your ColecoVision. That just blows my mind that this even existed. And they even show all the other titles that ColecoVision was going to be releasing. Now, ColecoVision, if you tune into the channel, we'll see it in August as soon as we can. I'm so excited to unveil ColecoVision. But they say a summer release here is going to be when ColecoVision comes out. And then over here they have, oh, isn't that nice? Atari and Activision shaking hands, burying the hatchet, saying that it's okay. We'll let you do games for our system. That's nice. So all the lawsuits are gone, at least the public lawsuits. And then we have Electronic Gaming going monthly. It's now going monthly basis. It was on a bi-monthly because it's awesome. I want to see it every month. And we will. Let's flip on. There we go. The arcade tabletop. Frogger. We haven't seen that one yet, but we will. Coleco's tabletop line of popular corn-up translations is an extensive originally announced in Electronic Gaming number 2. Yeah, we're going to see those later. And then this is pretty cool. We don't see as many board games, obviously. We do see some video game board game hybrids, but this is for Stratego, with an example of playing Stratego. A mixture, but you wouldn't be able to play this here on the channel. We're only playing everything that is using a microprocessor. Yes, good times, Marshall. Love it. I did get vibes. The graphics of the TI-99 look really similar to the ColecoVision. There's another system, too, the CreativeVision. When we played that one, which was released in '81, it looks really similar to the ColecoVision, too, and plays kind of similar. All right, so over here we have inside a Mattel. Dependent division of the toy giant is exploding with lots of games. There it is, Sub Hunt. We were just talking about that. And Night Stalker, both are ones that we played. And this is the June issue of Electronic Games. By 1982, you would have already been playing, or you would have seen this issue already. Publications usually have this out a little around the month before. So whenever I get these magazines, since I know they are the issue for a certain month, that's when I like to read them. So here we are in June 1982, reading Electronic Games. Atari buys the Co-op Quartet from Century. So Atari just buys Phoenix, Vanguard, Challenger, and Roundup, which is why we're going to see them later on the VCS. And then over here we have the favorites, Electronic Games hand-picked hits of the most popular video game cartridges. They still say Asteroids on the VCS is the #1 this week, which I don't get it, though. Asteroids on the Atari home computer was excellent. On the VCS, though, I didn't think it was a very good translation from the arcade home. Maybe because of the popularity of Asteroids. There's the, I agree with Missile Command, though. Missile Command was a great one on the VCS. Asteroids just wasn't as good because, when you broke an asteroid apart, it didn't have any gravity or physics. It just kind of splattered on the screen. I think Adventure should be higher. That should be one of the best ones. And then, of course, we have Space Invaders, Kaboom, NFL Football, Intellivision, nice. Astro Smash, and NFL Football still is one of the best football or sports titles that you could play for the time. And then Quest for the Rings and Odyssey 2, nice. And then Activision has Stampede and Ice Hockey. And then we have, for computer games, they're saying Star Raiders on the Atari home computer is the most popular, and I agree with them. There's Missile Command, and then Asteroids. See, Asteroids on the Atari home computer is 4-player simultaneous. I think that should be higher. Yeah. It was much loved. Thanks, Punk Rock Biker. And then we also have the Coin-Op video games. Now, I wonder how they're getting this rating. I'm guessing it's the poll they put out. They're not really going to the arcade to see what is the most popular. They're just asking people. Pac-Man is on top, followed by Tempest, Defender, then Asteroid, Centipede, Battlezone, Berserk, Crazy Climber, Wizard of War, and Donkey Kong. What is Donkey Kong doing all the way down to number 10? For now, at least. All right. So of all the reading we're going to be doing in this magazine, we're going to have to put it on pause for now and continue with the Electronic Games issue number 4 next time. So our video game playing and reading is going to be put on pause, and we'll continue reading Electronic Games in our next issue. That's it for today, and like I always say, just eat a snack and you can keep on playing some video games. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.